The June Yum box came in, so let's take a look. And I'm exhausted, so we're gonna do it from the couch today. I'm just so worn out, so that's why we're just gonna Yum box from the couch today instead of from the office. And apparently, I am also losing my voice, so I apologize for that. I did not even realize because it's a Saturday and I guess I just haven't really talked much out loud today, and then just started talking to the dogs a minute ago and realized this was happening. So I don't know. So it looks like this month we're in the United Kingdom. That should be a fun one. Of course, we have our nice little info card, and it's a lovely scorecard on the back. And then we have our beautiful cheat sheet, which has a tea time, which is really nice. I like that. I love myself a good tea time. All right, we have all kinds of good looking snacks in here, and I'm excited to dive in. I just moved an item and I saw something amazing. You know what? I'm doing this right before Father's Day. So on Father's Day, I'm going to have my mom and dad taste testing with me. My dad's going to be very happy because one thing that he often requests when we have tea parties and such is in this box. So yay! So this is the Yummy Banana Toffee.
The British craze for banana toffee hit its peak in the 1950s, but as time passed, the biggest candy makers left it in the past, which is what makes this yummy banana toffee so special. Walker's Nonsuch is one of the few confectioners in the UK that still makes the classic combo, so give it a whack, a taste, and be instantly transported to the annals of British candy history.
So it looks like it's supposed to be like in little sections, you know, that you can break apart, but mine's kind of melted together. This does not bode well for my poor teeth, but let's give it a try. Okay, so the flavor is really good. I like banana flavor. That's pretty nice. Got a bit of that toffee flavor with it. Now, I'm not brave enough to actually try to chew this because I can tell it is so sticky and it's just going to destroy my teeth if I try to chew it. So I'm just sucking on it. But that's really good flavor. I like that one. Next, we have Grandma Wild's Oat Bar. Chewy oat bar with a white chocolatey top and raspberry swirl.
It's not a trip to Yorkshire without a taste of flapjacks. And that's not just a fancy word for pancakes when you're in England. Instead of the pillow soft cakes that many associate with the name, there's something completely different to the British, tender, buttery oat bars. And this version takes the recipe a step further, inspired by the classic Cherry Bakewell, a pastry filled with sponge cake and jam, by adding a swirl of tangy raspberry on the top.
That sounds really good. I love raspberry, so it's really soft. All right, let's give it a try. That's okay. I don't hate it, but I'm not loving it either. The oats had a little bit of an odd taste to them, I guess. All right, moving on. Next, we have Kent Crisps Lamb and Rosemary. Savory yet meatless chips with lamb and rosemary flavor.
There's no meal more inherently British than a proper Sunday roast. The ultimate comfort food comprising of juicy, slow-roasted meat, potatoes, veggies, and a rich gravy seasoned with herbs. This traditional meal dates all the way back to the 15th century when folks would use a communal church or bakery oven to make enough food to last the week. The star of the Sunday roast would most commonly be beef or lamb, which makes these completely vegetarian lamb and rosemary crisps a snacky taste of British dinner tradition.
I think I've had these before, if I'm not mistaken, but I don't remember what I thought about them. I like rosemary. I'm not sure if I've ever actually had lamb. Let's try. Okay. That's interesting. It definitely has that like rosemary roasted lamb flavor, or what I'm assuming roasted lamb tastes like. It's interesting. I don't hate it. I do not hate that. I mean, I could finish the rest of the bag. I don't know that I would necessarily go out and buy that flavor. Next, we have Johnny's Pickled Onion Rings. Crunchy rings that taste just like pickled onions. Okay.
Hanging out in a pub with your mates is one of Britain's favorite pastimes. And with 27,650 across the entire UK, there's one thing that almost all of them have in common. Patrons at the bar are likely to be served up a jar of pickled onions. Onions doused in malt vinegar are an essential part of the ploughman's lunch, a meal consisting of bread, cheese, and pickled onions. In fact, many pubgoers snack on these zesty pearl onions straight out of the jar. Dig into this addictive pickled onion-inspired corn ring to experience the tangy tradition.
Let's try. Oh! 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 When they said pickled onion, I don't think I registered fully that meant pickled onion. Ooh. That's no Funyuns. That is no Funyuns. I was sitting here thinking, oh, Funyuns, yum. Oh boy. I was like getting a mouthful of vinegar with a little bit of onion flavor and some crunch. Okay, that's definitely not going to be one of my favorites. This one is Bristol's Rhubarb and Custard Bonbons. Chewy candies with rhubarb and custard flavor.
In England, few desserts are as fancied as the Fool. No, not a dessert involving clowns. In Britain, Fool refers to an extremely popular parfait made by alternating layers of custard and boiled rhubarb. The parfait isn't the only way the custard combo is enjoyed. From puddings to cakes to ice cream, it's such a popular flavor that it wouldn't be a trip to the UK without a taste. And with these bonbons, be careful, you'll want to suck then chew for a foolproof tasting experience.
Now these I have had before and I love these. I don't know if I've had this brand or not, but I've definitely had this kind of bonbon before. So I'm excited to have another one. It's chewy, but it doesn't stick to my teeth too bad. And it has a lot of flavor. It's very tart for sure. It is a very tart chew, but oh, it's delicious. I love those. Interesting. We have Taylor's potato chips, mature cheddar and onion. Super cheesy chips with an oniony zing.
For over 200 years, Brits have gathered at Coppers Hill in Gloucestershire, England, for the annual cheese rolling festival. The rules? A wheel of cheese is rolled down the hill and the first person to catch it wins. The prize? The wheel of cheese, of course. These cheese and onion crisps may not be the ideal shape for rolling, but they are one of the UK's most classic flavors.
It almost reminds me, not the exact flavor, but kind of like a flavor cousin to the sour cream and cheddar chips. Is that what, that's what they're called, right? The Ruffles. I think it's sour cream and cheddar. This is kind of like a cousin to that chip. It's kind of similar, but not quite the same. That's interesting. That one I like though. That one definitely works. Next we have Blackcurrant Millions. Tiny chewy candies that taste just like blackcurrant. I do really like blackcurrant.
Nothing says nostalgia like looking back on childhood candies. And for that, look no further than Millions. No British childhood is complete without a heaping handful of these itty-bitty sweets loaded with fruity flavor. It's kind of like the UK's version of Nerds.
But let's see what they taste like. Very chewy. And blackcurrant flavor. That's good. Unfortunately, those did get all in my teeth. I'm going to have to go brush my teeth in a little bit. But flavor was really good. I really like that. Next, I'm excited about. I've definitely had these. This is one that, this is a snack that my dad always requests whenever we have tea parties and such. And it is the Jammy Dodgers. So this is Raspberry Jammy Dodgers. Crumbly cookies with a raspberry filling.
These British biscuits may appear simple at first, a sweet, sticky layer of raspberry jam sandwiched between two crunchy butter cookies. But it's that simplicity that made them the most popular cookie in the UK. Made in Wales, Jammy Dodgers are the UK's best-selling children's biscuit, though 40% of cookies sold are actually eaten by adults. A staple in nearly every home, this fun and fruity classic is a nostalgic treat that many British families have enjoyed for years.
My first introduction to Jammy Dodgers was on Doctor Who. they kept mentioning Jammy Dodgers. We thought, well, what is a Jammy Dodger? So we looked it up. I'm like, oh, do they have any of those nearby? We need to try some Jammy Dodgers. And now they're a tea time staple. All right. I mean, where can you go wrong with the Jammy Dodger? Got nice crumbly cookies. You got that lovely raspberry jam in the middle, which is a little chewy. Oh no, they're really good. And they go fantastic with tea. Speaking of tea time, next we have Bristol's Clotted Cream Fudge. Chewy candies flavored like British clotted cream.
When it comes to the UK's famous clotted cream, there are 2 places to head to. Devon, where this fudge is from, and Cornwall. Both of these English counties claim to have invented clotted cream, a rich spread made when hot cream is slowly cooled, creating clots of cream. And both counties still compete over who makes it best. The process of making it is the same in both places, so the real difference comes down to the pastures that the cows were raised on.
I have had clotted cream before, and it is fantastic. At our tea times, you get Jammy Dodgers. I get some blackcurrant jam to go on our scones, and then I also get, or blackcurrant preserves, and then I also get some clotted cream to go on our scones. It's sort of like a butter spread type thing. Anyway, it's delicious. It is amazing. So I'm really excited to try one of these little fudge chews. It's crumbly. To me, it tastes caramelly. It just tastes like a kind of caramel-like fudge, which is really good. I mean, I'm enjoying it. It's really, really yummy. The next one's gonna be good. The next one is Burt's Sea Salt and Malt Vinegar Chips. I love salt and vinegar chips, so I'm excited for this one.
Order at a traditional fish and chip stand, and customers are presented with a basket of fish wrapped in newspaper, accompanied by a bottle of malt vinegar. The combination is so iconic that many people automatically associate the tangy condiment with British cuisine. But the truth is that fish and chips is one of the only ways they use it. The mildly sweet vinegar tang cuts through the heavy fried taste, a match made in heaven. These may not be the chips they were talking about. In Britain, fries are called chips and potato chips are crisps. But the combination of malt vinegar and fried potatoes works just as well.
Let's try. I do like malt vinegar. Whenever I have fried fish, I like douse it heavily in malt vinegar. It's just an excuse to eat malt vinegar, really. So I am quite a fan of these. Next we have the Bristow's Sour Blue Raspberry Bonbons. Super chewy, extra tangy raspberry candies. I hope they're not too super sour.
The British sure do love their berries. From blackberry pie to gooseberry jam, the folks across the pond definitely know how to take a good thing and run with it. That goes doubly so for raspberries. With 9 different varieties grown across the UK, it's no wonder they end up in cookies, cocktails, and blue raspberry bonbons. Expect sweet and sour berry tang.
Okay, let's see. It's nice and chewy, and it's not sticking to my teeth too bad. It is sour, but it's not too sour. There were moments where it was a little more sour, but it was never like really bad. That's all right. Oh, we've got more toffees. Okay. So this is Brazil nut toffee. Buttery toffee with whole Brazil nuts.
When it comes to good toffee, it's all about color. Butter and sugar are melted together until they reach just the right shade of amber, called the hard crack. After hitting peak coloration, Brazil nuts are added to the pot, giving this particular variety of English toffee a slightly enhanced flavor from the banana toffee also included in your box. It's a bit more buttery and perfect for slapping, sharing, and spreading across a few days of snacking.
Sounds interesting. Oh, but this one has a plastic cover over it to keep the parts segmented, I guess, so that it doesn't all melt together. All right, let's give it a try. Oh, this one's a lot harder. Oh, my poor teeth after this box. That's pretty good, though. I really like the flavor. I liked having the nuts in there. I really like Brazil nuts, too. I've always been a really big fan of Brazil nuts. So I really like having those included in there because you don't really see, at least not here, we don't really see Brazil nuts included in a lot of foods. But that was really good. I just wish it wasn't so sticky.
Ready to try a Victorian cookie from a 100-year-old recipe? That's no exaggeration, as Grandma Wild's biscuits have been using Annie Wild's, the ubiquitous grandma, original recipes since 1899. What started as a simple bed and breakfast transformed into a thriving family baking business, currently in its 4th generation. But even after all that time, the recipes are still faithful Annie Wild's vision. They're just like how Grandma used to make.
Grandma Wild's Oaty Biscuits. Simple and delicious oat cookies. Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of that one. It's the same thing with the other Grandma's oat thing, the oat bar. It's something about the oats. It's just the flavor of it. I'm not crazy about that. All right. Got some more candy up next. This is the 1-pounder Fizzy Iron Brew Soft Candy. Gummy candies inspired by a famous Scottish soda.
When visiting Scotland, there's one drink worth trying. Irn-Bru, often called Scotland's second national drink, whiskey being the first. The recipe is a closely guarded secret that only 2 people are ever allowed to know at the same time. When it hit the market in 1901, it was originally called Strachan's Brew, and has stayed pretty elusive since. No one can quite nail down the flavor of the vivid orange-tinted soft drink, but the most common descriptions include citrus and bubblegum. Take a long chew of these brew-inspired chews and take your best attempt at nailing down Scotland's most famous flavor.
Well, let's have a taste, shall we? Oh, they're even shaped like little Coke bottles. Let's give it a try. There's so much happening right now. First of all, it almost has a fizzy taste. Like, it actually does have a fizzy taste. Second, it tastes like how baby wipes smell. I swear, that is the flavor I'm getting. Which I guess is a bit of like a baby powder kind of smell. That's a very weird flavor. Okay, we got a drink up next.
When John Noel Nicholas first created a soda of mixed fruits, herbs, and spices in 1908, he expected it to overtake the country as the next biggest health drink. But as the popularity of carbonated beverages began to rise, he quickly changed gears, calling it a cordial in 1913, and then a soft drink later on. And it was that soft drink branding that won the day, with the drink rising to stardom in the 1930s, and it's still popular today. You can even see a monument to the iconic drink in Manchester.
So this is Vimto soda, sweet English soda with blackcurrant, grape, and raspberry flavor. I'm just glad that it's not a grape soda, not like a purely grape soda, because I was worried when I saw the purple can. Ooh, that's pretty. I don't like grape flavoring. It makes me think of medicine as a kid. All right, let's give it a shot. Okay. I think I would like it more if it was just blackcurrant and raspberry and not with the grape mixed in with it. Like I said, I don't like grape flavored things very much. But all in all, that's not a bad soda. I was thinking about this the other day because I'm thinking about my Harry Potter marathon that I do every Labor Day weekend. So I know we're a few months out, but I was thinking about that today and what kind of food I might make to go along with my movie marathon. And I was thinking about Yorkshire pudding. And because somebody had mentioned, oh, Yorkshire pudding would go good with this or this. And I was thinking, it's like, well, there's no way I'm going to make Yorkshire pudding. Like, it's not going to happen. Like, that seems like something that would be a little intensive, like, to make completely from scratch. And what do you know? Yorkshire pudding and pancake mix. I've got a mix right here. So this is the Yorkshire pudding and pancake mix. Crispy on the outside, creamy on the inside, eggy all throughout.
The best Sunday roast, the kind served with all the trimmings. That means a side of potatoes, some veggies, and of course, Yorkshire pudding. These little treasures are almost like magic. The pancake-like batter is dropped into a hot muffin tin, along with either butter or the drippings from the roast. The batter bubbles, and it doesn't take long for them to puff up into these iconic little pastries with a custardy center. Expect them to poof into big, pillowy souffle-like treats.
Interesting. I do know Yorkshire pudding goes great with sausage and that brown gravy and all. It works really great. I think it'd go pretty good probably with like a roast or something. Or I have had it before at like British pub places, and it's okay. I'm usually not crazy for it, but I don't dislike it. Like it's fine. But obviously we're not going to make this up right now. But I might have to give this a go and see if I can make some Yorkshire pudding, I guess. Because what do you know? You say, oh, I'm not good. There's no way I'm going to do that. Bam. Mix. Right there. I feel like that's meant to be, right? Like that's got to be meant to be, right? Okay, well, we'll have to check that out later. And that brings us to our final yum. Dean's All Butter Shortbread Cookies. Interesting. Crumbly shortbread with a big buttery taste.
This yum story takes place in rural Huntly, Scotland. It begins as many Scottish tales begin, with bagpipes. Back in 1975, Bill and Helen Dean wanted to raise money for the Huntly Pipe Band, of which Bill was a drummer. And they could think of no better way than by selling Helen's super crumbly, extra buttery shortbread. Fast forward to today, and the Deans of Huntly are a household name all across Scotland, but not for bagpipes.
All right, let's give it a try. That is a very buttery shortbread. That's amazing. That's great. No notes. Just, that's great. Nothing beats a good shortbread. That's a good one to end it on. Overall, I think that was a pretty fun box. I had tried some of these things before, but they were really good to try again. I enjoyed them, and I'm happy that I have some more. I mean, who could possibly be upset about having a full sleeve of Jammy Dodgers? You know what I mean? Like, yes, please. Absolutely. I will gladly take some Jammy Dodgers. Just gonna have to have some tea now. There were a few in here that were not as great for me. Few interesting and odd flavors, and a few that were kind of middle ground, which is fine. But there were some really good ones. I really like the malt vinegar chips. I love the rhubarb and custard bonbons. Those are so good. This is fun. I enjoyed all of these. It was a great box. And I think I'm going to go ahead and end this here and see if I can rest my voice. Maybe make some hot tea to go with my Jammy Dodgers. And see if maybe that helps with whatever in the world is going on with my voice this evening. So again, I apologize for that, and thank you for sticking that out with me. If you did, I'm so sorry, and thank you so much. And I'm gonna go ahead and just I'm gonna go now. I'm gonna go. But I hope you have a wonderful day. Bye. Jammy Dodger!